Technological advancements are reaching new heights with plans of commercial space stations, and even space hotels. Now there is a real possibility of flying to the edge of space in a balloon. Yes, you hear that correctly. Spaceship Neptune is going to be a high-performance balloon that will take you up 100,000 feet to the edge of space. If you're trying to avoid airborne viruses, heading to a near vacuum might not be the worst idea. The balloon is not your regular balloon, but covers the length of a football field, and comes with a pressurized cabin. The balloon can fit 8 people, and the first test flight that is going to be uncrewed will leave early next year. Human space flight company Space Perspective has scheduled the test flight of its Spaceship Neptune for early 2021, from the auspicious surroundings of the shuttle landing facility at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. That test flight will be uncrewed, and carrying research payloads, but Space Perspective hopes that in a few years it'll also be taking space tourists on 6-hour sightseeing jaunts, with a refreshment bar and social media capabilities to hand. According to Space Perspective, the process will be seamless, much like boarding an airplane, and you will have a suitable temperature side, just right for a sleeveless shirt. Also, the company claims that the toilet will have the best view in the known universe, which we know is a possibility. As well as Kennedy Space Center, Space Perspective intends to launch from Florida's Cecil Spaceport, and is planning additional launch sites around the world, including at Kodiak in Alaska. It's already possible to reserve seats on Space Perspective's website, and Anchorage Daily News reports that passengers can expect to pay around $125,000 for a ticket. The 6-hour trips will involve a 2-hour gentle ascent above 99% of the Earth's atmosphere to 100,000 feet, an experience, Space Perspective says, only enjoyed so far by 20 people in human history. There'll be another leisurely 2 hours for passengers to enjoy the 360-degree views from the cabin before the spaceship makes its 2-hour descent to the ocean, where it will splash down safely. Voyage to shore will be completed by ship. The spaceship was designed in collaboration with UK design studio Priestman Good, which is also working on a passenger module concept for Elon Musk's Hyperloop transport system. The capsule is 5 meters in diameter, while the polyethylene balloon above has a 100-meter diameter when fully inflated, about the length of a football field. To get to the stratosphere, customers would ride inside a spherical white capsule called Neptune that looks a bit like a spinning top, with wide glass windows providing a clear view of the Earth below. The propellant would be a massive translucent balloon filled with hydrogen, which would ascend at the breakneck pace of 12 miles per hour. 8 passengers could fit inside the craft, along with 1 pilot to make sure everything runs smoothly, according to the company. Some kind of satellite communication will be key for talking with ground control, but it will also allow riders to post photos from the sky. And then if people want to do some kind of special event on board, such as a wedding or art show, there will be other options. For special events where we really want to live stream something from the Neptune, there will be a swankier communication system that will be able to do really high resolution, broadband live streaming. It's an ambitious idea, but the two CEOs have a history of working on fantastical projects together. Poynter and McCallum both participated in the much-hyped, and controversial, Biosphere 2 experiment back in the early 90s, where a small group of people attempted to live in a closed-loop ecosystem, to simulate what it would be like to live on Mars. They also have experience working on a high-altitude balloon flight that carried a person to the stratosphere. The company also needs to ensure that the ride will be safe for passengers, which Poynter and McCallum insist it will be. The Neptune capsule will have a life support system and pressure control, and though the vehicle will mostly be flown by people on the ground, the designated pilot on board can assist customers if some kind of problem arises. And if the balloon suffers some kind of leak or failure, a reserve parachute will be on hand to bring the capsule down safely, according to McCallum. With all these things in mind, Space Perspective still has very big plans for the future. Pointer and McCallum say their Neptune capsule will be reusable, and they hope to get 1,000 flights out of each vehicle. Pointer expects each ticket to be less than half of what Virgin Galactic charges, which is $250,000 a seat. She expects tickets with finalized prices to go on sale next year. But really, Space Perspective says it wants everyone to be able to enjoy this method of travel. The company has also partnered with Space for Humanity, a non-profit that hopes to provide all expenses paid trips to space. Space Perspective also wants to fly artists, political leaders, spiritual leaders, and more, to help them see the world differently. Deadlines for space tourism projects have a tendency to slip years past their original targets, but optimism about demand for private space travel remains high. Would you go to space if you had a chance? Would you still do it if the spacecraft was an air balloon? Share with us in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel.